These are widows from Burkina Faso, where extremist violence is taking its toll on Christians. In 2021, trauma care trainer Tirham travelled from Nigeria to run a week-long trauma workshop for this group.
For these people that came from different areas, different communities in Burkina Faso, they are women that their husbands were killed by Islamic terrorists. They were killed and most of them have been displaced from their communities. The first step in the healing, the lesson is, if God loves us, why do we suffer? It's trying to bring alive to them that whatever happens, we should remember God's character. And it's also helpful for them to know that, wow, there are people that lamented in the Bible. And in fact, in the book of Psalm, there were more lamentation verses than the verses of praise and worship to God. So it helps them to understand that, okay, I can tell God exactly how I feel, and I am not judged, I am not condemned by God. God understands my feeling. We talk about forgiveness. If you're able to forgive, you can live more peaceful lives. And finally, we talk about the cross ceremony, where they are able to carry their pain to the cross.
For this group, the program was adapted to communicate with the women most effectively.
Most of them don't speak French, they don't understand French, and they can't write or read French. So instead of us to do the normal trauma healing workshop with manuals with them, we decided to use the audio. And the audio is being pre-recorded in their own dialects. So it's dramatized. It's dramatized in such a way that it helps them to picture what happened to them and to picture their own pain too. So it is very helpful for them. So this is a very unique trauma healing, because this is the first time that we're using audio to have a healing workshop.
In the face of such violent persecution in Burkina Faso, there is now a greater need for trauma care and local caregivers.
Here in Burkina Faso, well, I can say we are just like scratching the surface for now, because the trauma need, it's just huge. This is the first trauma work that they are having, and so it will take time to be able to identify people that can start the work. But I see the people that we are working with, they are passionate about it, they love it, and with more training, with more learning, I believe that they could be on their own and start this trauma healing by themselves.
For believers who have suffered trauma, workshops like this one really do begin to bring God's healing.
The way trauma healing works, sometimes I look at it and I think it's just a miracle. The first day they came on Monday, you could literally feel the pain. You could literally feel the pain in their eyes, in their faces. You could see it. And on Tuesday, when we started the workshop, you could see them reserved. They were not open to discussion. They were not expressive. They could answer the question from the stories, but they are not talking about their personal problems. Now, yesterday, I noticed that some of them started smiling, because after we did the lesson on the grieving, and it was like a light is just like something just lit up in their faces. It's like, wow, so I can actually grieve, I can actually cry, I can actually tell God how I feel. And by this morning, they were laughing, and whatever I say, they will laugh. And I was like, wow, I'm really happy today, your face is shining. Because it's like the first day you were not smiling, yesterday you smiled, today you're laughing. And they were like, really, that God has healed them.
Thank God for Tirham and for the opportunity that these widows had to learn about trauma and to experience God's healing in their lives. Please pray for local Christians in Burkina Faso to be identified and trained so that they can deliver more trauma care within the country to meet the enormous need. Pray for God's comfort for all those who have suffered traumatic persecution. Pray for an end to the jihadist violence in Burkina Faso.